Hey viewers, welcome to the last game analysis of Vladimir laning phase. It's once again HotshotGG, once again in an old match, and this time in top lane. He is up against Misfortune, and it is going to be a very short match, but it's going to be the first time we actually see him have trouble with this this matchup, or with a matchup. Yeah, so far we've seen him go up against Ash a couple of times, but well, the big difference here is that Misfortune actually has a healing debuff, which really shouldn't hit him. Well, he really doesn't want to get hit by that, because that reduces healing by about 50%. Well, exactly 50% actually. Furthermore, he just wants to stay out of the range of her double up, because the double up, although it doesn't do a ton of damage, it still does a pretty decent amount of damage. So we see him standing in the bush and getting the first minion with his Q. And he's trying to stay in the bush to prevent harassment, because he knows that Misfortune is probably very strong against him. And she is indeed going to use the double up on him, has a big range advantage there. And obviously has some nice skills to make it harder for him to actually harass her, or, well, exchange damage, I guess. And she is going to harass him a little less than I would have liked to see her do. She could have done a little bit better job in this fragment, because we're only going to watch about 8 minutes, because that's all I have from this match. There obviously is more to this match, but I couldn't find part 2. So yeah, because I renamed the video and that was kind of stupid. I shouldn't have renamed it. I should have just let it have its old title, and then I could have found part 2. But anyway, it is pretty interesting to see that he has some trouble with Misfortune, because he doesn't have the ability to heal up as much, because every time he tries to come near her, she or near the minions, she is going to use either the double up or the heal debuff, both of which are pretty efficient at preventing him from doing anything. And she immediately pushes everything to the turret. And because he took the pool at level 2, he had to use the pool to farm, which is very, very, well, silly to do. It's really not the optimal way to farm. It is an AoE skill, I guess, but you lose a lot of life from doing that. Also, it's not a whole lot of damage. And yeah, the Q of course does the most damage, the E does the second most damage, but also amplifies the healing and damage on the Q. And the W really is the lowest damage. At this patch that they're playing at, the W got buffed, the damage on that. So that's why he is asking whether he should max W, but normally you just take one level in it. And yeah, interesting to see his positioning here. He is well behind his own caster minions, just to prevent the double up damage from hitting him, coming in only to last hit, and even that is kind of hard for him to do, because he only has the Q to really last hit. Last hitting with your auto attack is really hard on Vladimir, especially early levels, because it is just such a low amount of damage. So in the end, he will be behind on minions, and yeah, we will see him just have a general hard time against her. So staying way too far back to really do any harassment to her. He hasn't hit her in quite a while, and the only reason he can get minions every now and then is because Miss Fortune just isn't very aggressive in her harassment. Yeah, we see the TF ultimate there. It was still a global range back then, so that's why she backed off. But Twisted Fate is going bottom lane. And yeah, you can see it here. He's trying to use his auto attack to prevent the lane from pushing too much, so from pushing into his turret. And taking quite a lot of damage there. But yeah, Miss Fortune just knows that this is the way to go and just uses her ultimate to get the whole minion wave and catches him in the process. But that really wasn't the point of that ultimate. That ultimate was really intended to push all of the minions into the turret, because it's so hard for Vladimir to farm against his turret. And as you can see, he's losing quite a lot of minions to his turret. But yeah, Miss Fortune could have been really more aggressive here. I'm not sure who the jungler is. It seems that Warwick would be the jungler. But Warwick is in mid lane, so she doesn't really have to be scared of that. And still she really stays back. And she can just auto attack him. There's nothing he can do back. He does have his ultimate now, but yeah, she can kill him before he can actually kill her, making sure that, well, that is not a real threat. So Miss Fortune starting off boots and potions, which is a good choice, I guess. It does reduce the amount of damage you do, obviously, but it does allow you to harass quite a bit more and not get harassed as much, which may also be one of the reasons why she has not been harassed at all by this Vladimir. So anyhow, yeah, the Miss Fortune once again pushing everything into the turret, and you can just see how much trouble he has last hitting, and using his ultimate to get last hits here, not really intending to take down Miss Fortune at all. And yeah, I will go back to show you the minion score when the video ends, which is in about 15 seconds. And yeah, we will see him pick up these, and he will not actually do so in the video, so we will go back to the last time he pulls up. Hang on. Last time he pulls up actual readable score chart, which is this one. Yeah, we're about a minute and a half from the end of the video, so it's not the actual number, but the last one he pulls up is really unreadable. And it currently is 38 versus 45, so he's behind by about 7 minions, which isn't really huge deal, but it is still significant since he normally is ahead. He normally is the aggressor and can prevent the enemy from farming. And in this case, yeah, I don't think this Miss Fortune was really pushing hard enough, or, well, harassing hard enough, because I think she could have prevented him from farming even more than this. And maybe she was just too afraid of the jungler. I'm not sure what happened in the rest of the match, but I'm pretty sure that Miss Fortune can push Vladimir out of the lane, because as soon as he gets harassed too much, cannot be aggressive, cannot lifesteal enough, it is going to be really hard for him to actually win the lane. And yeah, since we haven't seen any ganks come in from either side, I would have to give the advantage in this matchup to Miss Fortune. With ganks coming in, of course, it is whoever pulls off the most successful ganks. There's no real way to tell who will win then. With the enemy jungler being Tryndamere, they really so the enemy team really didn't have anything to stop Vladimir from just running out, which is probably the reason why there was no gank. But yeah, the Warwick might have been doing a better job if he came in the top lane. Although bottom lane was feeding quite hard in the beginning, so guess that's why I mean Janna died twice and Jax, I think, is bottom lane, died once as well. So they went 3 and 3 in the bottom lane. And yeah, in the end, I think that's the reason why Warwick didn't come top. Also because he probably isn't level 6 yet. But, well, this is old jungle, so I don't really remember what the levels were, but I know that the jungler wasn't really ahead of the solo laners. So he's definitely not level 7 yet, but I cannot really read the level on that. So anyway, yeah, it was kind of a short game, but you could see that if you are playing against Vladimir, or if you're playing Vladimir, that some of these matchups are really troublesome. And yeah, you could see him stand back because he knew this was going to be a hard matchup. So he was standing back behind his own minions, making sure that the double up didn't hit him. It still hit him plenty of times, but he was trying to prevent that damage. And as soon as you can prevent the damage, then yeah, although you don't get all of the minions right away, you can still get a few of them. You can still get the experience from them, and as long as you don't die, yeah, you're going to lose your lane, but you're not going to be useless, because picking up the levels makes that you have more damage to do, and with more damage you can pick up the minions in a later stage of the game. And if you can have a few minutes of farming like the top lane in the late game, you're going to get a lot more minions than you would get in this laning phase where every minion has to be fought for. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. I will go round up some conclusions now, and I will see you guys next time. GG.